Welcome to Mrs. Peach Thrifty Living. I'm so happy you're here today. I have a recipe that I've been looking at. It was torn out from a magazine, and it sounded so good, and I have some of my Thanksgiving leftovers, my roasted veggies that I took, and I made so many of them. I have some of them left, so instead of doing one of the steps for the recipe, I'm going to use those. But before I get started, I want to show you my new Zenni.com glasses. This is readers. They are bifocals, which I've used for years. They don't seem to bother me. And the other, I can just look up and look out. So I can read with these. I'm not going to wear them all the time, but whenever I need to, I will have them. They were, well, $61 and some change. That was shipping and handling. This is about the third or fourth pair I've gotten from them. My oven is all ready to put it in, and I'm gonna have to cook it less time because I've already got my cooked vegetables. I'm back, and you might not see me in the picture. You just see this down here. Vegetarian Cassoulette. I'm going to be doing a few changes on here. It's supposed to be a French hearty white beans of savory flavors, herb de Provence. Now, I didn't know that I had it, and I looked up to see what was in that, and it said it was thyme, marjoram, oregano, and bay leaves. Well, my friend had given me this one time, and it was really probably out of date or close to it at the time when she gave it to me. I just stuck it up there, and when I was digging to see what I had it. I smell it. It might not be as strong flavor, but it still smells pretty strong right now. So we're going to go from there. I got my oven preheated to 350. Now, originally it said in a skillet to saute your onions, your carrots, and your potatoes in olive oil. Well, remember, I have these roasted veggies that I took to our Christmas. Actually, there's some celery, and there's several different things, even a sweet potato in there, but it's going in this here. A pan if you need to save a dish. And I'm going to cut these, there's some of the potatoes are a little bit bigger than I would think that they should be. And there's a zucchini in this. It didn't call for zucchini, but it's going in this one. Of course, remember, it's already been flavored with garlic, lots of garlic, and salt and pepper, fresh rosemary sprigs on the top here. Those are pretty well bite-sized now. So to add the herbs, the garlic and the herbs. I've got quite a bit of garlic in here, but this is garlic pepper seasoning. First ingredient is salt. So anyway, I'm just going to put a spoonful the herbs, and it calls for a tablespoon of those. Pretty flavorful, I'll tell you that. It called for pepper, and I got the pepper in there, and a bay leaf. I'll put that in at the end. It called for 2 cans of cannellini, how do you say that? Beans. But I have this. I've already rinsed them off. And I'm going to put these little white beans, white navy beans in it. It called for 1 can of, what kind of tomatoes? Diced tomatoes. I have fire roasted ones. That should be good. This is going to make a pretty full casserole. 2 cups of vegetable broth. I'm going to put 1 cup in, and I'm using beef broth. I mixed up 1 teaspoon of this beef broth and a cup of water. I put hot water in it to mix it up. It didn't say drain the tomatoes, and I thought, well, this is just going to be a soupy something. But then I read one of the directions on it, and that was a surprise. Let's mix this up good. We're going to bake this for 20 minutes, uncovered. You know, I don't know that I'm going to bake it quite that long because remember, my potatoes are done, And then I'm going to be back to make my breadcrumbs. This is a surprise. The breadcrumb topping. This calls for 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 3 thick slices of French bread, 2 sprigs of parsley, and some garlic. Well, I have some of this bread that I got at Walmart. After you get this all crumbled up, then remove the cassoulette after 20 minutes. Place your oven to 400 degrees. You sprinkle half of the breadcrumbs on top and bake another 15 minutes. Then you remove the cassoulette from the oven and you stir then you stir, after you baked it 15 minutes, then you stir those breadcrumbs into the mixture. And then you top the rest of the mixture on top, and that's where you bake it lightly. I knew there was a place you had to stir it in. So I'm going to do that next. It's going to be a guess as far as how much I'm doing, but I think bigger chunks than they said. I don't have any fresh parsley, but I have dried. So that's what I'm going to put in. Take some of my garlic powder or whatever I have. I got some parsley. I think I'll just open this lid up. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think parsley has much of a flavor? I've never been able to tell that it does. Here's my garlic. Ooh, that was very generous. Okay, I had a disaster. I dumped some of it. Okay, I'm putting my olive oil in it. That's about 2 tablespoonfuls. Got my breadcrumbs all broke up after I made a little mess. And now I'm going to get this out of the oven, see if it's bubbly yet. And got this out of the oven. I'm going to stir it up, like it said. And I think that will thicken that, the filling of it. Then I'm going to top this off with the other crumbs. It did say take that bay leaf out, but I'm not going to because I like bay leaves. Okay, here's the next one. This was my sample one that I was going to try where I'd have a pretty one. You know what? I think I'm going to do it with my hands where I can spread it around evenly. Maybe. Let's do this one first. Get a little bit on this one. Now finish up with this one. This is one thing I rarely ever do is work from the stove, because that way you have to clean your stove a little more often. And isn't it easier to clean a countertop than the top of your stove, especially when you have this kind of grates?
Our stove is just as easy.
Yeah, now my son is here and he's talking to me too. I'm videoing. It's okay. Gordon won't be trying it because this is not up his alley. His wife, his beautiful wife, would try it in a minute. But she probably wouldn't be on camera because she's camera shy. I'm back. I'm taking a little taste test. And I let this one cool off a little bit. I took it out sooner. And here is a bite. Let's try it out. You know, it has that stuffing taste with, I guess, with those herbs that some of you would put in there. And it's really good. Wow. I'll eat this again. You guys come back every time. I pray God blesses you today. Don't forget, Jesus loves you. And we'll see you next time.